Welcome to the Clockwork Headphones Ultimate Tier List, the only valid one. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in case you did not know, I dictate what looks good on the platform and what looks bad on the platform, and you should abide by these rules, otherwise you are going to be banned off the platform. And by Clockwork Headphones, I do not mean only the Clockwork and the Work Clock, because there are actually a ton of retextures of the Clockwork headphones. So I believe it is only fair for us to start with the classic, which is the regular Clockworks headphones. In my personal opinion, this is an S tier. You know, you cannot go bad with black and white. Simply a god tier combination. This item is a staple of the Roblox OGs. If you are an OG, you certainly own this Roblox item, ladies and gentlemen. And then we have the Work Clock headphones, which is like the counterparts of the Clockworks. In my personal opinion, this is not as good as the regular Clockwork headphones, because of course when it comes to like combining colors and making a lot of outfits and styles, black is always a good color regardless of the color of your clothes, whatever. The Work Clock headphones go to an A tier, just one below the Clockworks headphones. And then we have the red Clockworks headphones. This one I really wish it was a limited item, but unfortunately it is not. But yeah, this one is a really cool color of red, no matter the color of your outfit. If it's red, of course, assuming it's red, you could wear them with any shade of red. But yeah, in my opinion, the red Clockworks headphones also deserves to be A tier. And then we have the blue Clockworks headphones, and I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely hate these Clockwork headphones. Like the problem with this shade of blue is that it's so incredibly specific that there are like 0 items in Roblox that fully match with this color of blue. Blue Clockworks headphones goes to C tier because of its lack of customizability. Then we have the recycled cardboard headphones. If you think this looks good, this is like poor people cope. I'm sorry, bro. This item looks absolutely horrendous, man. Never got to make a singular good outfit with this item, which is exactly why I'm going to put this item in F tier, ladies and gentlemen. And then comes the Viridian headphones. And why do I personally think it looks better than the blue Clockworks headphones? There are a lot of other Viridian themed items in the Roblox catalog, so I think that this item deserves a solid B tier. And then we have the Edrit headphones. This item is extremely exclusive and it looks pretty much exactly like the red Clockworks headphones. So personally, I believe that if the red Clockworks headphones is an A+, this is a regular A tier, just because the red Clockworks is a little bit cleaner. And then, after that, we have the Clockworks heart phones. You see, the concept in of itself is like a cool thing, but practically speaking, this does not look so good on your head, I'm not gonna lie. But I firmly think that if this item were pink instead of black, it would be better. You know, Valentine's Day, it's all about the heart, the feeling. I love you so much, Amanda, my girlfriend, I love you so much, you know, the heart phones. But I still believe that this is better than the blue Clockworks headphones. So like, we put the blue Clockworks at a C- and this at a regular C. And now, we come to the last part of the video, which is the Clockwork Ultimates. So first of all, we have the Work Clock Ultimates Peridot Peril or something, Peridot Panic, my bad, it is the Peridot Panic. You know, this is sort of a cool item, but not for me, because I usually prefer like darker outfits, not lighter outfits. And this item can genuinely not be worn if you are using darker clothes. So I think that this deserves like a D tier probably, just because of how limiting it is in my personal opinion. Then we have the Clockwork Ultimates Emerald Entropy. This one is already a huge step up from the Peridot Panics, because it is simply a darker shade. Black headphones, darker shade of green, you know, it looks absolutely amazing. So I believe that this deserves a B, just like the Viridian headphones, but this is like a B+, and the Viridian headphones is like a regular B, something like that, I don't really know. And then we have the Work Clock Ultimates Citrine Celebration, but this item, if you pair it with like the Viscount of the Federation, the Golden Antlers, it is one of the best Clockwork and War Clock Ultimates there are. These would be like a very strong contender for like top 3 Ultimates of all time. So I would go as far as saying that the Citrine Celebration is an A tier Clockwork Ultimate. And then we have the Clockwork Ultimates Wolf whatever. I do not know the name of this item. It does not interest me. I think this is the biggest piece of shit in the entire game, bro. You can genuinely not make a singular good outfit with this item. Legitimately, bro, I'm not even exaggerating. But even with me being extremely harsh on it, I still think it looks better than the recycled cardboard headphones. I'm going to give Wolf the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to put it in E tier instead of F tier. And then we have the oh my god, bro, we are approaching hot territory. We have the War Clock Ultimates Garnet Gratitude. This is, with no doubt, top 3 Ultimates in my personal opinion. And it does not look too bad if you pair it with darker shades of clothes. I believe that this is an S tier Clockwork headphones. And then we have the Clockwork Ultimates Ruby Rapture. Same deal as the Garnet Gratitude. This item looks really good, but not as much as the Garnet Gratitude in my personal opinion. So I think that this would be very good at an A+. Maybe better than the regular red Clockwork headphones. And then we have the War Clock Ultimates Pink Diamond Distraction. I'm not gonna lie, this item is a little bit funny to me because the acronym in Roblox is PDD, you know what I mean? It's really funny, bro. But anyway, I'm not too big of a fan of the color pink. I think that these headphones are a little bit overrated. In my personal opinion, of course, 1.2 million for these just does not seem like too good of a deal to me. But still, they look relatively good. And I can honestly see why e-girls would OP a lot for this item. So like, all things considered, I think this could be like an A-. And also let's move Citrine up a little bit, okay? And then we have the Clockwork Ultimates Rose Quartz Rebellion. I honestly think that this item has a lot less room of customizability compared to the Pink Diamond Distraction, which is like, you know, its War Clock Ultimate counterpart. I actually honestly think that this item is a little bit ugly, I'm not gonna lie. This goes to C tier. A solid C tier. Then we have Amethyst, which has a very unique color, I'm not gonna lie. This honestly, oh my god, it just does not give you too much room to customize it with other items just because of how unique the color is. I think that this deserves a solid B-. And then we have the War Clock Ultimates Sudgelite Satisfaction. I actually own this one, so please take my opinion with a little bit of a grain of salt, okay? I'm not gonna lie, bro, if we compare the Pink Diamond Distraction and the Sudgelite Satisfaction, there is almost no major difference between both of them. So yeah, I think that the Sudgelite Satisfaction is the same tier as the Pink Diamond Distraction, so an A-. So yeah, you know, right here, right by Pink Diamond Distraction side, so both of them are friends. And then we have the Clockwork Ultimates Sapphire Serenity. This item is really cool, but you need a very specific set of clothes for this item to, you know, be able to match with other stuff. So I think that if the Blue Clockworks headphones is like a regular C tier, I think that the Sapphire could be like a C+ maybe. And then last but not least, the War Clock Headphones Aquamarine Attitude. This item I've never got to own, but I think it's the same deal with like the Garnet Gratitude. And it goes with most shades. It doesn't matter if your avatar is a little darker, is a little whiter, you know, like when it comes to clothes, okay, when it comes to clothing, I'm sorry. Right over there. S tier item right by Garnet Gratitude and the regular War Clock headphones. Please tell me if you disagree with something, if you agree with something a lot, because I would be very interested to know. Do whatever you can to support me, subscribe to the YouTube channel, whatever. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.